Gentlemen,
Yeah. Hey,
how are you guys?
I'm good. Mhlobam, kunjani?
We're surviving.
We will survive.
Ah, I
We
thought
will
you would be
survive.
dead. You lost the one
Yes.
game you guys didn't want to lose.
Ah,
Eish.
yeah. I don't think there's anyone who wants to lose a game after putting such a solid performance in the second half,
Mm,
especially against this Sundowns team. I don't want to believe this thing, Guti, Sundowns is unplayable. I'm talking for my team. Maybe for other people, Sundowns is unplayable, but for my team, with the team that we have assembled this season, the quality that we have, the great technical team that we have this season, saying Sundowns is unplayable. I mean, I will never accept such a thing. We showed Guti we can play against Sundowns, but
mm,
you need to be clever. I would say we were at 60 or 70%. Yeah. Uh, After Sundowns, we are 6 or 7. We are not far off. I mean, it will take years to be on their level, but with the team that we have, Manen, we are not far off. That's one game we shouldn't have lost. I wouldn't say we should have won, but it's one game we shouldn't have lost. This game reminds me
mm.
of that game last season where we lost 1-0, losing to Mailula. That's also another game that we shouldn't have lost to Sundowns. Same thing happened. La pressing, Maswanganyi giving the ball away. You don't do such things when playing against Sundowns. You need to be disciplined. That's one game that you can be careless in all other teams, 29 games or 28 fixtures, but in those two fixtures against Sundowns, you don't do such things because one chance they will punish you. And it was proven yesterday. They got only one chance, the penalty. They converted it, and then we are done and out. We
Mm.
went home with 0 points. So, yeah.
We were at home, Umdange. They left with the points. They took our points. So we stayed at home with 0 points.
Eish, well,
Nelson, my
I think
man,
we deserved better though, man. We deserved better, man. We deserved
Mm,
better than 0 points.
mm.
Honestly, we
go
deserved
go.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah?
go on, Nelson. Your thoughts. Go on, your thoughts. Dan has already shielded what he thought about the game. What are your thoughts about the events of last night?
Yes, as Mdangi has already said, it's small details, man.
Mm,
Small details.
mm, mm,
Yeah, we are not far off in terms of performance. We have shown yesterday that we can actually perform. We can actually go toe to toe with Sundowns. I don't think whether there was a moment against that particular team yesterday that we were actually defending. You know, we were actually trying. Even though first half we had a horrible first half, there was just no connection between our midfield and our attack. You know, the link between the midfield and our attack was a bit off yesterday. But honestly, it's we are getting there. We are getting there. I don't think there's a team this season that has actually had the number of or pole position or maybe the pole position that we had yesterday against a quality team like Sundowns. So yeah, as Mdanga said, it's just small details. I think we are getting better. Second half, we had a brilliant second half. We pressed them high. We were creating a lot of chances. We were making a lot of box entries. The introduction of Hoto, the introduction of Kapinga and Kamvuidi at least changed the game for us. But yeah, small details were not far off. But I feel that we deserved better, man. Yeah, even that penalty, I felt it was a bit soft. But yeah, I think we'll take the lessons that we've learned and go forward. It happened last season with Mosela losing the ball in our own half, being pressed by Sundowns like it happened yesterday. But I think that the boys will learn. Yeah, disappointed, but
Yeah,
a bit happy with the performance. Your thoughts?
Yeah, as you guys have alluded, it was a game of small margins for me. Uh, Sundowns, the pressing, which is gonna be part of the next question that I'm gonna ask you guys. Their pressing was excellent in the first half. Well, I don't know if it was excellent or perhaps our two midfielders were hiding to receive the ball. I don't know which is which, but they were very good in their pressing threats, and the goal obviously came from that. I'm not a fan of tricks. I've never been a fan of tricks ever since my football knowledge just escalated to a new level. So when Maswanganyi did it against Cape Town City, while watching him, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy when he did the first one, which was appreciated with ululation from the crowd. I wasn't happy, and he tried to do it again, and we lost the ball. And from that resultant action, a penalty was conceded. There is debate about whether the penalty was a penalty or not. It's split in half, as I can see, and football is a game of opinion. So I'm not going to get into that. I've got my own opinions as to whether I think it's a penalty or not, and it did happen that it was a penalty. So there's nothing that I can say that will change that. But like last season, it was a game of small margins. We're very horrible in the first half. We were much better in the second half. I also don't know if it's because they sat back or just that we wanted to play football. So that's up for interpretation as to how we see the game differently from our different perspectives. So I'm not sure about that. Which brings me to my next question to you guys. Do you think the improvement in the second half, starting with you, Shane, was down to them sitting back, or it was down to us changing a few things? I think Hoto also came in very early, I think at halftime in the second half. Do you think what do you think it was that made us to actually first get a shot at goal and possibly just worry them in aspects of play in the second half?
Um, for me, I wouldn't
Your
say
voice is down. Pick it up.
down.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's good
sure.
now.
It's fine.
You are
Okay.
good now. Yeah, you are good now.
Uh, I wouldn't say when I'm back, they sat back because I was listening to their coach last night on the press conference saying they sat back and what else did he say? But he spoke about sitting deeper, but he used those football language. What is they sat deeper?
Mentioned words
Uh,
like suffering and what
yeah.
that he wanted to see her, not he wanted to see, but he's glad that his team can suffer periods within the game because they're not
Yes.
playing alone. I think he was alluding to that.
It's something to the yeah. But I don't think he will ever admit Guti Orlando Pirates came to the party because any coach will always want to make his team look good. But Orlando Pirates, you can see with the substitution of first substitution of the game, Dion Hoto coming on for the young Mufukeng. You could see what our coach was trying to do because Mufukeng was not attacking Umudao as he should have. But Mufukeng is only 18, and I still feel good he should have been protected in that game. But how he should have been protected, I don't know. It's a matter that we'll discuss maybe some other time. But uh, after Dion Hoto came in, you could see what we were using. Our left wing much better than in the first half. We were attacking more inside downs on the left flank. So for us, in second half, there were a couple of changes, and also the movement in the middle of the park between Uparoni and Umonare. There was a bit of an understanding second half. Umaswangani, even though he was there the first half, but second half was playing in patches. He didn't have a good game, but second half you could see he was trying to play. But first half was nowhere to be seen, guys. No, he was nowhere to be seen. But second half,
He
you could
was the
see what he
worst.
was
He was
trying
the
to play.
worst player on the pitch for me first half
Yeah,
by
first half,
far.
Maswanganyi. No, he wasn't the teacher that we know. He wasn't the teacher that we know. But
Yeah.
to answer your question in Beshe, no, I wouldn't say Sundowns decided to sit back because that is not how Sundowns do things. Sundowns will
Mm.
always come at you. But Orlando Pirates also stepped up second half because they wanted that equalizer. But I'm not sure whether if maybe we should have, if maybe let's say we would have gotten that equalizer. I'm not sure if we would have continued pressing Sundowns, playing the way we did second half. I'm not sure. But in the second half, I was really happy. I was impressed. And I wouldn't say it was because Sundowns decided to sit back. They had no other option because we were coming. So that's my answer, Kuwembele.
Yeah,
Nelson?
just to add on what Mdanga is saying, I think maybe there was a change of mentality in the second half. I think maybe the mentality that we had nothing to lose, we were trailing either way. I think maybe that change in mentality, that psychological, change actually played to our favor. So we started pressing it high. We were just playing some brilliant pieces of football. Even the changes actually brought a bit of pace into our attack setup. As Mdange said, the left flank was a bit off. The left flank was off. Actually, I would say that our front three yesterday were the worst. Tito, Maswanganyi, Saling, and the young Mufokeng yesterday, they were just dead. So at least the introduction of Hoto gave us a bit of pace on the left flank. It gave us a bit of width. His combination with Marco on the left flank actually started helping us to have a lot of box entries. But I think it was a psychological change of mentality because we had nothing to lose. We had to come to the party in the second half. So yeah, and it's not that Sundowns tried to sit back. We just wanted to get into the game. We wanted to get control of the game. Yeah, I think we do actually have the players that can actually go toe to toe with Sundowns. And I
Yeah.
think also even the changes that they made actually helped us as well because if you check this guy. Their striker was actually the one that was actually helping the Riverio and their target man. I forgot his name. What's his name again? Shalulile.
Ribeiro
Olivier.
Shaluli.
Yes, Shalulile. They were actually helping them in terms of their pricing high. So I think the substitution of those two guys actually helped us because I think maybe Sundowns started, playing their normal game, wanted to actually keep the ball instead of pressing us. But a change of mentality for us actually helped us to get into the game.
Yeah, I also think we stepped up in this. It wasn't a good game though, to be honest with you. Just generally the whole game. But I think we
Mm,
stepped up. We tried. There was an effort, and for me, that's all we can ask for. You can't ask over effort. There was an effort to say that we are losing against Sundowns. Let's
mm,
attack them. There was also bravery from the bench to put in more attacking players. So I can only applaud that we actually played to attack them in the second half. It was a game of two halves, literally. So
mm,
also for me, I did think that they sort of decided not. I don't know whether decided not to press because it's a fine margin that I'm careful to say that it was their decision. Because I'm just a supporter and there are details within the game that I may need to learn from a tactical perspective. So whether to
mm,
say that they were the one who stopped pressing or we were the one, I am not well versed to say that. But from our side, because I'm a current supporter, we picked up or we took if they decided to stop uh, pressing, we took advantage of that. But we still have a
mm,
problem in terms of breaking down teams who sit in a low block, and it has happened against Stellenbosch. Cheaper also gave us the same problem after they scored. Sundowns gave us this problem as well. So I think it's going to happen that we'll be able to unlock defenses, but it may be too late in our league quest, as you know that you always pick up form in the second half of the season. So that's my
mm.
concern with what is going on with us currently. Of the subs, what did you think of these guys we saw for the first time in league action? What did you think of Kapinga? What did you think of Kapinga and Kamvuidi? I know Hoto played very well. Hoto and Marco played very well. Marco was not a sub. I'm not going to mention Hoto. He seems to be playing well when he's coming on as a sub. But specifically those two, Kamvuidi and Kapinga, what did you think of them? Because we had already seen Erasmus in the lackluster performance he had in the MTN 8 first leg. And for me, it wasn't really impressive again. But these two, what did you think of them? As it was our first time seeing them in league action. Dangi.
Ah, uh, brother Karim, that guy. He's the ball for you too. He's the ball.
Yeah, I
Ukamvidi,
can play
yes,
football.
yeah. Ukamvidi can play football, and another thing, is that he can also play when he is closed down by 2 or 3 men on top of him. Because I saw a couple of moments as well where he was past the ball, and you could see what any other player will lose that ball, but Ukamvidi was confident enough to make sure that he doesn't lose the ball, and then he passed his opponent. I mean, he passed his teammate and not his opponent. So for me, Ukamvidi, I hear a lot of people about Ukimvidi should have started Izolo, but who knows what Ukimvidi, what was he going to give us Izolo had he started the game? Because Upalon started his big game Izolo, but you could see there were moments where you could tell Uguti Upalon is not used to this high tempo game, a high class game. He's not used to such game, playing in front of 37,000 people. He's not used to such games. So, but Naya, he did very well. But talk about these two players, Kapinga and Kimfit. You could see that's a quality that we've always needed. If they are not starting, then we should have that quality on the bench. So, in our past game, like our first 4 or 5 games, including cup games, you could see we had a good starting 11. But when you look at the bench, there's a lot of defensive players, a lot of defenders. But is all when you look at our bench, um, you could see there's quality and there's players who can come in and change the game in our favor. So I was really happy with those two guys, and also Kapinga. Kapinga can play ball, but I think he has that element who is similar to Ndlondlo. Kapinga can lose the ball quickly, but you could see usually what he was trying to do. As long he was playing against his former team, I could also say Guti maybe he gave that extra thing because he's playing against his former club. But you can see Guti Kapinga when he's coming off the bench, he can do something. Even if he starts the game, you can see Guti can offer you something better than number 11 who can.
Is it me or we lost Dangi?
No, sorry. No, there was a call coming in. I'm really sorry, guys. There was a call coming in, but I
You were
think it's
saying
coming.
it's fine. You were saying better than the number.
Number
Oh,
11.
Makaring. I'm trying to think who's number 11.
It was better than number
Yeah,
Makariki.
11.
whenever.
Hey,
Sorry to cut you there. When he came on, I said to the person who was next to me, "We have lost." Uh, Not to personally attack Makaringa, but the faith is totally gone from me. You can continue,
no.
Mjani. Not to disturb you.
Yeah, as I was saying, Ukapinga, you could see Guti, you would rather bring in Ukapinga than to bring in number 11. So there's also number 11 is taking a lot of space in our bench, guys. We need to bring in some of the players there to escort those high profile games. Lodge need to be back into the team. Vincent need to be back into the team. So we need those kind of players who know how to play these kind of games when I'm back. But I will talk about that later on. I was just answering your question about our two players. But there's something that you also need to talk about the return of some of our big name players who know how to play these kind of games.
Yeah, just to add on what Ntange is saying, Kimvuidi actually was the one that impressed me the most. Even though Kapinga had a lot more minutes than him in the second half. At least too, you could see that the confidence was coming back. The introduction of Kapinga after Hoto was introduced at the beginning of the second half. We started actually having a lot of box entries. We started actually being on the ball more. We started actually being a bit more confident with the ball. At least there was someone that was actually brave enough to carry the ball and take it to the Sundowns player. So at least Kapinga, when he came in, he tried to do that, even though you could see that it was not really as efficient as we would have liked it to be. At least the introduction of Kamvuidi then actually helped us to gain a lot of those books, interest more. But yeah, I was really impressed with the two guys. I think those are the two guys that we should actually play going forward. I think Kamvuidi should start games. I think I'm that of that
Yeah,
opinion that
yeah,
he should start games. I think we
yeah.
have a gem in that guy.
Mm,
Kapinga can start on the bench. I think he can actually compete with Tito on that attacking or in that number 10 position. So I think, but Kamvuidi must definitely start our games, guys. There is no way
yeah.
that we can keep that quality on the bench. I didn't actually know him that much, but he impressed me. With that 10 minutes, it only took me 10 minutes to be impressed by that guy.
Sure.
So I think, yeah, he should start games. Definitely. He should start games.
That is
Yeah.
good.
Nah,
That is good.
Kamvuidi can play football, guys.
Ha.
I saw him in one
It's good.
game at Maritzburg versus Chiefs. He can play football. He seriously can play football. He has this. There's an ability whereby there was a moment whereby he just shifted the gear just by trapping the ball. And I don't know who he left for dead, but the person actually fouled him. It's he has a pausing. It's called La Posa, where in Spain or
Mm,
whatever.
mm.
Also, Tito has this Maswanganyi. So he's the baller is too much.
Mm.
Kapinga, uh, he's a good footballer. He's just gonna have to work on his match fitness and his work ethic. To have him and Kemet in the same team is sort of, in terms of energy wise, gonna bite us off. But he's a creative gem, and he'll come in gradually. I agree that Kamvuidi should start games. The only problem is that where will we deploy him? Are we going to deploy him out wide or where he played as an eight, whereby he was very confident in receiving the ball in tight situations on our defensive side of the field? I feel that as an eight, he could be a real problem for other teams. It seems like
Mm.
also he is pass heavy. That means that he can pass the ball. It doesn't look to always look for the offensive all of the time. But
Mm.
between him and Ndondo, because Ndondo has also started playing that role very well, whereby he controls whatever we do. So it's going to be good competition there, I feel, on my side.
But
My next point,
I think we can play the three in the middle, man. We can play Ndlondo and him. You have got load shedding.
Oh,
Uh,
excuse.
yeah, you can continue speaking because there is
You
nothing you
yes, I
continue.
can
was saying
do.
that we can play him and Ndlondo, man, as a with the 4-3-3 system. Yeah, because I don't think he's a typical eight. I don't think he's a typical box to box type of a player. I don't know if he has the engine to actually be able to help defensively. He for me, I haven't really watched him that much, but I think he comes off
Mm,
as a player that is creative. But in terms of him being able to defend and help in the central middle field position, I don't know. Yeah, but maybe that's one aspect of his game that I must still see. But I think currently we can play him in a diamond position or formation. We play Monari and Ndlondo. Just maybe on just in front of them will be Kimvuidi and Tito, playing sort of a two number tens there, helping us in terms of the creativity. I'm honestly willing to sacrifice the young King for now for Kimvuidi. Yeah, but
mm.
maybe I might be best for that kind of an opinion. But yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice the young King for Kimvuidi.
That's a topic for another day. I fight anyone who goes against the young Mufu King. He deserves to be there. I also think it deserves to start. I think it deserved to start yesterday. Some games are worse than others, and these things happen. But
Yeah,
for us to say that he should be protected, it's a bit reactive from us as supporters because we've seen how the game has unfolded. So we do not know how it was going to unfold. But
yeah. Mm,
if you're looking at him previously, he deserved to start that game. The only thing is that I saw that Tito was on the left a lot of the time at the beginning of the game. So I don't know whether it was a tactical ploy to just not have the ball to face Mudau that much. So I don't know whether that also hindered his performance. What I want to come to is I mentioned that as supporters, we are very reactive because we are fortunate people that we comment after we've watched the game. So it's very easy for us to comment on what should have been done and what should have not been done. There's comments going around that Jose should have actually played his strongest 11 against Jwaneng Galaxy for match fitness leading into this game. What is your opinion on that topic?
Mbehle,
Did, did,
yazi.
did it interfere with, do you feel that it interfered with how we were in this particular game, us not playing our strongest 11? I put it in inverted commas because every player who plays for Pirates deserves to play for the club. Our strongest 11 against Sundowns.
Ah, no, Mbehle. The team that we played against Shwaneng, um, that was a quality side, Mbehle. That was a very good side that played against in Shwaneng. It's a pity that some of them they didn't come to the party. Maybe they underestimated the Shwaneng, or maybe it was just one of those days. A less smaller team will upset a bigger team in the CAF Champions League. I mean, I've seen Al Ali losing these type of games, first leg, or maybe even playing a draw, and then going on to win at home. I remember last season they played a draw, a 1-1 draw away, playing against a far less smaller side than Ichwane, and then at home they won 6-1 just last season, and that's Al Ali that we're talking about. So the team that we played last Sunday, imagine if that team had won, let's say 4-0. Mapaganya were going to say that team must start against Sundowns. So, in my opinion, the team that Jose played, it was a quality side, but it was just one of those days where Izzy was in a Shanghai because you could see with how much they were trying to play, but each one were playing at home. They were playing against the Orlando Pirates, so the players were excited. Abanye, they are trying to submit their CV. So it was just one of those days, Bergman. It was one of those days. We lost 1-0. It's a reversible score. We can reverse that scoreline. So I don't mind. I don't mind the best. That team was good. That team was good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also think we are fortunate that we can be able to comment about these things. It's hard being the coach. I commended the decision to rest players over the weekend, so it can be easy for me to come back and start blaming the loss on that. We have so many things to blame yesterday's loss against, but I don't think it's based on us resting some players for this particular game because if someone had gotten injured over the weekend, someone would have come in and said we shouldn't have played so and so and so and so over against because we under as supporters, not as Pirates, the football club, we underestimated Jwaneng and we thought we should come back with a win or a result there, whether it's a goal or whatever. So it's just reactive talk from my side as well. It's just because we lost the game yesterday. Um, there was something you wanted to mention about players. I think I'm done on my side in terms of
Yeah.
what I wanted us to get out with regards to the game as a whole.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, better than something, and I think I tweeted this yesterday about our coach. Um, Last season we played Sundowns twice, three times, let me say, or let's say four times if you also include the one-day tournament, the Carling Label Cup. But I wouldn't talk about that one. The one-day tournament at this Bales was in. Played Chiefs three times also. We lost both legs of E-League against the Chiefs, against also Sundowns. Yeah, also yesterday we lost against Sundowns. Something that I think Guti, uh, yes, when you're playing against a big team, there are certain ways onodlala ngazo behle when you're playing against the Chiefs, you're playing against the Sundowns. We don't know ukuthi what the plan ka coach was is on. But for Mna, Mbele, as when you're playing against Sundowns, you need to have players who say, okay, these are my soldiers. These are players that I know, Uti. If Sundowns are throwing A, B, and C on my side, then I will know, Uti, how to react. For instance, Mbele, check indlela our right side izolo ibingekho icala kaShandu. If you remember, icala kaShandu, Ushandu didn't give much izolo, and I wouldn't say Monyane would have been better, but defensively Ushandu is slightly better than Monyane, but attacking wise Monyane is good. But against Sundowns, you know what you need players as a discipline. So I think on my side, the coach indaba yokuthi adlalise Ushandu izolo, I think it was a matter of tactical discipline because Ushandu is a bit better when it comes to defend against Sundowns. So I think the coach here needs to know how to play these kind of games. If you are going to win a league, you can't lose to your closest rival twice a season. At least if you're going to lose the second leg, win it or at least get a draw. You can't give your closest competitor 6 points a season and still try and chase for a league title. I think that for me is unacceptable. We need to beat the Sundowns better if we are going to win this league. We need to beat the Kaizer Chiefs if we are going to win this league. Yes, you don't have to beat Sundowns to win the league. You don't have to beat Chiefs to win the league, but you also we have no business losing twice to Sundowns in one season, losing twice to Kaizer Chiefs in one season. If you are thinking about winning a league title, I think we need to beat one of these teams this season. We can't do what we did last season and donate 6 points each to these teams. For me, better. That's just what I wanted to say in Shobam. We need to do better in big games. We need to do better in Shobam. Except the finals, of course. I know there's also other big games, which is the final, and we did fairly well against Amazulu and Skuku in the part. Against Chiefs, against Sundowns, we need to get something there better.
Yeah, I agree. Also, psychologically, we cannot keep losing these games because it's affecting not only the mentality of the players, but also our mentality as supporters that we're not winning the big games. It's very important to win a big game. We can never underestimate that. As much as we say that we do not have to beat these teams to compete for the league, but it's very important to win this type of games, to get one over them, to create further belief within the group that they are able to win this type of games. So I was a bit disappointed from yesterday. Made me to feel, oh, here we go again, another loss to this team, and it's another loss whereby they haven't been much better than us, which has been the case even in losses against Chiefs, whereby I've felt we have been much better than them in most of the games that we've lost. So I don't know whether it's a mentality issue or if there's a mistake in the game. It is us who commit that mistake, or it's in the selection. It's something that we need to figure out, and it's something that we need to get across as a team. So it's like that, Mtanga. There's nothing I can do, or there's nothing that we can do than to look to improve. You see, Sunday, Stellenbosch, what's your last message to the team, and what's your message to Amapakania as a whole going into that game, which will get us to the MTN 8 final?
I wouldn't say it should be a walk in the park, but playing Stellenbosch at Orlando, it shouldn't be difficult. It shouldn't be a difficult game. We came to Cape Town. We beat Stellenbosch 2-1. So in order for them to progress, they need to beat us with 2 clear goals. They need to beat us with 2 clear goals, of which I don't see it happening. We will score against Stellenbosch, and we will beat Stellenbosch. So for me, for my message to the players and better to the team, they must just go. They must forget about this Sundowns game. It's water under the bridge. We have 25 more games to go. Anything can still happen, Bessie. Anything can still happen. No one has ever won this in December. No one has ever won this league in January or even in February. Yabo. So team here too, they must know there's 25 more games to go. As I said, Beth, we are 14 points behind schedule. So I wouldn't say we are 14 points behind Sundowns. We are 14 points behind schedule. We have a schedule, Beth, of delivering a league. It's league or death season. So we are 14 points behind schedule. So the players should understand, Uti, they have 25 more games to rectify their mistakes, of which it's a lot of points. Anything can still happen. So we think Kenya Sunday, I don't see anything stopping us from not going to the final. We can't afford to make things difficult for ourselves. We just need to wrap up that game, get done and over it, and then look forward to playing Ichwaneng next Saturday in the second leg of the CAF Champions League.
Yeah, to close, to close, me too. I think it's a game that we should go past. We have a massive advantage against Stellenbosch, so the boys must just go there and do the job. And we need a win. Let me tell you why. Because we're coming off the back of 2 losses, and we demand a reaction from the players. We demand a win. We do not want to scrape through by a 1-1 draw or whatever. We demand a win, and we want to see a show at Orlando Stadium on Sunday. Papa Pakania, let's go there and support the team. They've not done anything without effort this season. So as much as we are disappointed, the journey continues to support this team. They're not doing badly. They can do much better than what is happening. To say that, Mapakania, we are closing the episode. Please subscribe and let us know where we can improve. Once again, up the parks.
Up the parks. Don't bet him,